Buying a house is very exciting, but has anyone ever talked to you about how much it's going to cost? Hi, I'm Heather Meagher, and this is my amazing husband, Tim. Today we're going to walk you through what it costs to buy a home, what your closing costs are, so you're prepared.
It is so important to know what your closing costs are, and even more important to make sure there's no surprises at the end. So the first out-of-pocket cost that you're going to incur is the down payment. Now, it's not really a cost, but it's going to feel like one because it's coming out of your pocket, it's coming out of your bank account, or maybe from under your pillow. So if you get your offer accepted, you're going to have to put down an earnest money or an escrow deposit or a down payment. Whatever it's called, you're gonna have to put that money down because it's a good faith deposit to show the seller they can now take their home off the market because you're a serious buyer. This money is kept in an escrow account, and then at closing, it's brought there and it's included in the rest of your down payment money for the purchase of the house, but it feels like a payment because it comes out of your bank account. In addition, based upon what type of financing you're obtaining, your lender will advise you on to how much more money you need to put down at closing. You're going to need to bring more money out of your bank account, but that doesn't need to happen until the day of closing, and your lender will advise you.
One of the costs you're going to see on your closing statement are the title costs. So if you're unfamiliar with what title costs are, or unsure why you need them, you're basically paying someone to insure the title to make sure that you have a clear title when you purchase the property. The worst thing is for someone to show up many years later and say that they own the property. Most lenders will require this in order to close. So what's the cost of title insurance? It could range anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s. It's based off of the purchase price of the home. The other guaranteed cost you'll have is the Pennsylvania transfer tax. In our area, it's 2%, and it's split between the buyer and the seller. So you'll have 1% of the purchase price to go to the Pennsylvania transfer tax. This money goes to the city, the county, and the state. Another cost that you'll have is the homeowner's insurance. In our area, it's typically between $1,000 to a few $1,000s. An average home costs about $1,200 to $1,500 annually.
The next cost you're going to see on your closing statement are the miscellaneous loan fees that you get from your lender. These fees will all be dependent on what your lender's charging you and what type of loan you're getting. So contact your lender, ask them what other fees are going to be included there and what you're going to need on the day of closing to cover those banking fees. They can range anywhere from a few $100s up to a few $1,000s, all depending on what type of loan you're getting and your current situation when purchasing a home. One of the other costs that you're going to incur is the appraisal fee, which comes from the lender. And one of the questions we get is, who picks up that fee? That's the responsibility of you, the buyer. You are working with your lender to get the mortgage, and that mortgage will be based on what the appraisal comes in at. So you're paying for that appraisal fee, and that can be anywhere from $300 up to $500 or $600, depending on your situation and the type of home you're buying. So after your offer is accepted, one of the first costs you're going to incur is the home inspection fees. That's going to come out of pocket because the home inspector wants it to be paid on the day of closing or definitely before it. The total package can range anywhere from $600, $700, $800 up to $1,000 or $1,200, depending on how many inspections and all of the different tests you need. So what's unique to our area is that we don't have central sewer everywhere. There's septic systems, and they can be stinky. You got cesspools, drain fields, leach fields, you name it, they're there. So if you need it, you want to definitely have a full-blown inspection on them to know what you're dealing with. Here's a good rule of thumb that we like to tell the clients and the buyers that we're working with. When you're thinking of making a purchase, you want to look at a total closing cost of somewhere in that 3 to 4% range. So if you're looking at a home at $300,000, you're probably going to have somewhere in the $9,000 to $12,000 of total closing costs, but that doesn't include your down payment. But just to cover all of these costs we talked about, somewhere in that 3 to 4% range normally gives you a good picture of the total cost involved.
So we hope this video gave you a good idea of the costs associated with closing on a home.
If you'd like to get a breakdown of the costs and an estimate on what it would take for you to make a purchase, please don't hesitate to contact us. We love helping buyers and first-time buyers and seasoned investors throughout that process to help them make the right decision when buying a home. Thank you so much for watching another edition of Living Local. This is my wife, Heather, who's awesome, and I'm Tim. Thanks and have a great day.